Will AI replace beatmakers and producers? My answer is this: it's not even gonna matter, and I'll explain why. But to give you a more direct answer, yes, probably quite a few of us will be replaced at some point. I think it's gonna end up being like a tailored suit versus fast fashion situation. What I mean is, people can go on Temu or Wish.com right now and buy a suit for $30 to $50. It's not gonna be as high quality as going to an actual tailor, but for most people it might be good enough, and it will certainly be cheap. And people like cheap. They also like fast. If you go to a tailor, you will get a much better, higher quality, longer lasting looking suit that will fit you and complement your body better, but that could cost in the thousands of dollars. So in the era of fast fashion, have a lot of tailors gone out of business? Yes, but are there many still in business doing what they do at a high level? Absolutely. But we're not there yet, because we're at the point where AI is just not making great music on the level of humans. Look, maybe if you're a moron and you have bad taste, absolutely AI music sounds amazing. It's like the greatest thing ever to hear the same female voice singing over the same 4 on the floor rhythm with the same 1-5-6-4 chord progression. Woo! Never heard anything as amazing as this. There are quite a few producers who want AI to replace us. Now, why would a musician themselves want their fellow musicians replaced by AI? Say there's a 4-year-old with a 5-year-old sibling. That 5-year-old sibling has taken the 4-year-old's Nerf gun. That 4-year-old is pissed, and because the 4-year-old is 4, and therefore a child with completely underdeveloped brain at that point in their life, they come up with this plan to get back at their brother by dousing the living room with lighter fluid and burning the entire house down. Now, the entire family is homeless, but that little dumbass 4-year-old is vindicated because he got back at his brother. All of his brother's toys burned up in the fire. Yes, he lost everything, but at least he got to see his older brother suffer. After the last video I made about AI, I've read a lot of comments. Might make a separate video about why I think I got attacked by what effectively looked like AI bots. But here's one example. I don't want to make this a whole let's go through the comment section type video, but I don't know who this person is. You don't either, because no one gives a He says, I make beats for the love of it. If you're in it for of course, AI needs to teach him grammar. If you're in it for the money, you're in it for the wrong reason, but I'll be here to buy your equipment when you give up your creativity to an AI program. Here's what it is. There are a lot of people who didn't succeed the way they wanted to in making music themselves, and so they became bitter, and then they look at the folks who they feel are making more money than them, enjoying the fruits of their musical labors more than they are, and they're jealous, and they want to just burn the whole house down. They don't care if it affects them, because like that 4-year-old, they are childish and bitter. I really think that's what it ultimately comes down to for most people. Most people who want to see AI take over have either already made their money, such as Timbaland, so they don't need to survive in a post-AI world, or they're people who just haven't made anything and who don't love music, who don't live music, because it's never been 100% of their lives as it is for a lot of us. So to those of us for whom music does mean everything, then we have to fight for this, and we are. Obviously, there's the class action lawsuit. There are a lot of videos. There are people like Curtis King. There are people like Ben Jordan. And there are people like this guy. This was insane. I see so many people who on the one hand will say, well, AI can never replace human talent. And then on the other hand, someone who will say, well, AI doesn't steal from humans. Are you kidding me? You've probably watched some of his videos before. If you haven't, he is an amazing bassist. Somebody like him is at the pinnacle of expertise on a single musical instrument. For him, it's the bass. So all the AI suckers in the comments saying, oh, well, y'all just gonna have to step your game up because AI can do what humans do and you just have to be better than AI. You hear that all the time. Oh, AI is gonna level the playing field so only the greatest musicians rise to the top. They'll steal your shit too. It doesn't matter how talented you are. Watch this.
Listen to the original one.
We saw Timbaland do this with K Fresh's beat, and then he had to, via his legal team, issue an apology. But that's Timbaland. He's huge. Everybody was on his ass about it. How many people are doing this every single day? Probably tens of thousands who can just go on to any AI platform, upload a work created by someone who's an infinitely better musician than they will ever be, and then the AI will spit out a remix, a derivative version of that, and hey, the AI companies face zero consequences. Of course, bitter, talentless losers love this. They feel like they're getting back at these musicians, these talented jerks work musicians who are so cool because they actually took the time it requires to learn an instrument. Ooh, all these producers who worked for 20 years, well, I can just push a button in Suno. People don't have taste. Right now, that that came out of Suno that was derived from that guy's original bass line sounded really corny, but I'm sure the person who made it was pissing themselves in orgasmic excitement because they felt like they finally created something cool without ever spending a second challenging themselves to actually learn how to create music themselves using their own time, energy, and intelligence. Now, will AI replace producers? As I said at the beginning, it probably doesn't even matter. Here's why. I'm sorry this is a depressing video, but this is all news. This isn't my research. This is a Newsweek article from this month. Read the headline. AI could destroy nearly 100 million jobs. Senate report finds. Read it yourself. It's written by Hugh Cameron. But this is a report that was compiled by, I guess, Democratic staffers of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. And they actually, this is the ironic part, they used OpenAI's ChatGPT. So in a way, it was actually a really objective research piece. People are talking about this AI bubble. I mean, of course, look, the U.S. economy has increasingly leaned into AI research and adoption, with some estimates suggesting private investments in the technology totaled nearly $500 billion. Holy shit. That's a lot of money. Trump loves it. And as a result, this could destroy nearly 100 million jobs in the US, replacing 47% of truck drivers. Forget about producers. 47% of truck drivers, 64% of accountants, and 89% of fast food and counter workers. This is why this is so significant. Because as it stands right now, as of August 2025, only about 164 million people in the United States were employed. So if we lose another 100 million jobs, that's over half of the entire workforce in our country. Listen to what Bill Gates had to say.
People are like, wow, this is a bit scary. It's completely new territory.
I mean, will we still need humans?
Not for most things. We'll decide.
Well, thank God that one of the richest men on planet Earth will decide whether or not us peasants have money to live on. And again, if you're one of these fanboys for AI and you're in my comments section talking about, I love AI, what are you talking about? You adapt or die, bro. This is what you're riding for. I honestly think another reason that people ride so hard for AI is because they just want to be on the winning side. They don't actually give a f. They just want to feel like they're on the winning side. A lot of producers out there, a lot of musicians out there who haven't succeeded are bitter. They're cowards. They don't want to fight because they don't think they can win. And a coward backs down from a challenge. A coward crumbles and capitulates when the odds are stacked against them. I'll admit that the odds are stacked against us because these corporate entities, as that article said, have $500 billion invested in them. And we admit that the average consumer has terrible taste. So they might not care if AI slop starts taking over the airwaves. They might be watching AI slop on YouTube and Facebook, and maybe the pendulum will swing back around and people will start craving human created content. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, whenever someone says adapt or die, join or die, whatever, one, it sounds fascist, it sounds like some Nazi shit, and number two, it sounds like whoever is asserting that message, whoever is echoing that message, is simply just a coward. They are afraid to fight. They don't think they can win, and so they've laid down their arms already, and they're like, oh, AI daddy, come here, let me lick your boot clean. And the early adopters of AI, the Timbalands, the Will Iams, they know what's going on because look, all that talk from the labels, all that we're suing Suno and Udio because we care about artists and we're here to help the artists, bullshit. Look what they're doing. Everyone complained about what happened to royalty rates and money in the music business when Universal and WMG made a similar deal with the streaming platforms. How do you think it's going to be once they strike a deal with the AI platforms? Already a third of all the music being uploaded to these streaming platforms is 100% created by AI. That dilutes the royalty pool. So if you were making just a little bit of money already off of your streaming, you're going to be making even less now because Daddy Suno, Daddy Mickey Schulman, Daddy Udio, he's coming in. You already licked his boot. You open the door for him. He's coming in to take all your shit.
Anna Kasparian has been under fire recently because of this clip.
Yes, we're going to surveil everybody. Everyone will be on their best behavior. Yes.
He's making fun of this dude, Larry Ellison, the CEO of Oracle, who's involved in the purchase of TikTok.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. Not people that are looking at those cameras. It's AI that's looking at the camera. No, no, no. You can't do this.
He's a Zionist and the largest private donor to the IDF. He's making fun of this dude whose primary motive of buying TikTok is to rewire the algorithm to be pro-Israel and monitor your data. People think that her mocking this dude is more important than the fact that this guy is now going to be monitoring your data to make sure that you love Israel.
That's who you're writing for. You want to be enslaved. You want your mind programmed. I sound like a conspiracy theorist right now, but this is documented. That was on camera. They are not even, they're playing in our faces, and people are sitting there drinking the piss talking about, I love rainwater. Microsoft researchers, and we just saw the former CEO of Microsoft, Bill Gates, talking about how they're going to decide who works and who doesn't. The top 10 jobs least affected by AI. Let's get into that. Maybe there's some good news. Dredge operators, pile driver operators, floor sanders. How much does a floor sander make? Floor sanders' average salary is around $41,000. Okay, so we're safe as long as we... Top 40 jobs most affected by generative AI, interpreters and translators, historians. That doesn't terrify someone who's writing for AI because they don't care about history. History requires intellect. Passenger attendants, sales reps, writers and authors. Unless we're counting broadcast announcers and radio DJs as musicians, I don't think we should. Music producers aren't even on this list. This is way worse. This is way worse than beatmakers getting replaced. Models. Think about how sick that is. Just step away from your role as a musician and think about how sick it is that models are going to be replaced. Human models are going to be replaced by AI. So now, oh God, think about all the weird P words out there. Just come on, think about that. I was just watching a regular ass true crime YouTube channel and this came up.
And Vince was threatening to release nudes of her. It's not even clear if they had been in an actual relationship, by the way. And it seems like he may have been generating nude photos of Maria Niotis using AI.
So this is this incel dude that murdered 2 girls. He may have been using AI to create revenge porn, to blackmail this younger, these were underage kids. If this happened to your daughter, if this happened to your sister, if it happened to your mother, you'd be cool with it because Daddy AI is pissing off all those mean producers that had the nerve to go out and do what you tried to do, but actually succeed at it. I'm sorry, I'm not being nice right now. This is not a cool conversation to have because this is the reality. I'm not making this stuff up. And so, yes, I'm working with certain AI companies. Yes, I'm updating my Lemonade, which is an AI program that I feed my musical ideas into. And then it's kind of like a collaboration tool where you can create chord progressions and melodies that are inspired by my data sets. People are like, oh, you joined the dark side. What's the difference between your AI and Suno? Consent. And as we just saw with that story about the murderous incel, a lot of you motherfuckers that love AI have a problem with consent. Either you don't know what it means, don't care what it means, know what it means, but are so psychotic that it doesn't apply to you. And that is one of the biggest, really, I don't think any of this would be happening if there was actually consent. When the labels signed the deal with Spotify, there was no consent from artists. The labels made that deal. They said, these are going to be the royalty rates. Cool. None of the artists that were even signed to the labels signed off on that. And those of us who make music who aren't signed to major labels didn't sign off on that. So there was no consent. We didn't consent to that shit. We just had to deal with it. Again, this is going to happen with the deal that the majors strike with the AI platforms, and it's connected obviously to streaming because the streaming royalty pool is going to be completely diluted. It's already diluted as it is. Most of that money is going to Taylor Swift anyway. Now this money is going to go not just to Taylor Swift, but to the hundreds of millions of non-existent AI avatars that some slob sitting around in some dingy basement is generating by the hundreds every single day. Is that an exaggeration? Actually, no, it's not. In my mind, I'm like, I'm being really dramatic, but then I realized Deezer reported that 1/3 of all songs uploaded every single day to the platform are 100% generated by AI. Hold on. So if 100,000 new songs are uploaded every single day and 1/3 of them are AI, that's 33,000 AI songs on the platforms. Taking money away from you, potentially. If you're a producer, if you're a singer, songwriter, recording artist, that money comes from your royalty pool, and it's going to what do we even call these things now? What are they? They're not people, they're not artists themselves, and it was all taken from YouTube videos, from SoundCloud, from Spotify, anywhere you uploaded music, they took it, and now they're making billions of dollars off it. $500 billion invested from private capital into these companies. Some of them are music, some of them are writing, whatever, but they're all taking from you pretty much, except a few. And I showcase those. I have partnerships with them. I've talked about them. And I make it very clear why I am much more willing to support those companies who actually buy rights, who actually share equity with the humans that create the art that powers their platforms. It's the least you can do. It's the least a company can do. But here we are. We're in a space where there's like this Disney villain level, Star Wars villain level takeover from these corporate entities. And then there are those of us in the middle, the artists that are trying to figure out what to do. And then you have all these little fuckers over here that may be a part of our community. They may be creators themselves. They may be artists, whatever. But all they want is proximity. They just want to be chosen by these AI daddies. And as a matter of fact, this is a very crude chart. On this top row, you see the owners and investors in some of the top generative AI platforms that are stealing. I'm not talking about like Ace Studio or Kits. I'm talking about Suno, Udio, and Marika. These are the people that are profiting from it. These are the CEOs, the main investors. And then down on this row, these are the faces that represent these platforms to the culture. I'm going to end on that. Take that as you will. Interpret it as you will.